Hello and welcome back to another episode. I've had a poor few days, so I've had a bit of help from a couple of people, namely my neighbour Scott, who's a car painter as well. He's helped me finish the paintwork and assemble the rear shocks so they're on. You may notice I've also fitted the shower stickers to the shocks and the E11 sticker and the Vim plate sticker that Anthony Wade supplies. As I've previously mentioned, he also supplies this one on the tank. Now today we're going to be talking about the oil pump. The first thing to do is obviously fit the cable that also works the carburetor. The thing to remember is that inside here on the throttle twist there's a little thing called a piece. It's actually called a piece in the parts book that goes on the end of the cable so it fits in the throttle twist. Now to adjust the cable, you have to look inside the carburetor and open the throttle until this little dot is at the top on the carburetor, and then tape the twist grip in that position, making sure it's still there. And then on the oil pump there's a little mark here, just here on the actuating arm, that corresponds to a mark on the oil pump, as in this picture here. So you adjust it so that's there. Then you remove your two union bolts, and using one of these old-fashioned oil cans you prime the lines by putting your finger onto the back of the union and pumping oil into the pipe. You'll hear it squirt out when it gets to the end, and that's when they're full of oil, they're primed. You then fit them back on the bike, start it up. Now this one here will work a lot quicker, and you'll get an air bubble appear after a couple of minutes, but this line can take a lot longer. But you will see a bubble. Let's see, you can see it right there. Now that's where my friend had to go. He had to go home, so it didn't get bled all the way through, but it's better at this point because it can show you what a bubble looks like. Now, the reason it took so long with this one was that there was an issue with the left hand pipe not pumping, so I had to use one of my oil pump seal kits to strip the oil pump down and clean it out. Now the oil pump kit, this is it minus one of the seals. These are all the old ones, apart from these two. Now there's a seal. The seal that you can't see in there goes on the actuating arm, the cam. Now to access the cam, you have to take the top and the bottom plate off. This isn't an AP pump, but it's similar, but it's all seized up. I was hoping to use it to show you, but I can't get it apart. Now these screws, surprisingly, you need a full size JIS screwdriver, not what you'd imagine as to a smaller one. So you take those two plates out, and underneath here is, now it will actually spring up if your pump's good. See this little plate where my thumb is? That's got a spring underneath it, and that will spring out. So you take that out, carefully put it aside, and then with a pair of very long thin nose pliers, there's a little piece in there that you have to gently pull out. That's a little tube which allow you to then pull this cam out. The cam has a double lip seal on it, which is a bit of a pain to stretch on and off. Well, it's not a pain to stretch off, it's a pain to stretch on. And then you can put that, this seal here goes in the back there. Make sure you have it the right way round, so that's with the flat face pointing outwards. These two seals I didn't use because they're for the gear drive, and I haven't figured out yet how to strip that apart. But the kit comes with a gasket and a new key drive. It also comes with these funny shaped rubbers that go in the top and in the bottom to then put them back. What I did was, when it was all stripped apart, I blew everything through with carburetor cleaner. I couldn't see why the left hand one wasn't pumping. I can only presume there was a bit of a crack blocking the hole, because there are no veins inside. It's just a centrifugal pump, so it just spins and the oil is forced to the outside. That did work, and I was pleased to say that when my friend started it at the bike up, it took about 10 minutes for the oil to start coming out of the left hand one, and only a couple of minutes to start coming out of the right hand one. You can then fit the cover back on. There's the cover there with the screw, after you've bled it all through. Now while you're bleeding it through and running, you want to put some two-stroke oil into the fuel you're using. I used a auxiliary oil tank, so this fuel tank, so that this tank hasn't had any fuel in it yet. It was a new old stock tank that was a bit poorly stored, so I had the inside cleaned professionally and then etched professionally, which isn't a cheap task, but it cleans all the rubbish from inside. It was then blasted by Ian Page. Well, that's my 10 minutes up, so I'll do another one soon. Thank you.